And we're live. Here it is. Something
Hey,
is. I got like a weird warning sign saying that we were supposed to start at 9 p.m. I don't. Maybe it was set up a little wrong, but we're good. We're here. Hello. Oh, and it's just this big poster in front of everybody. This is the check-in show. It's just four friends. There's going to be somebody joining us in a little bit to just check in with each other. That's the idea. We're just a
yeah,
little bit of kindness back and forth.
yeah.
Hi. How's everybody doing?
Good,
I'm
you?
good. I'm good.
Good,
Yeah.
good, good. I so, whew. It's been a busy week for me. How's it? What have you been up to, Claudio?
Nothing much. Just that last week for comedy was a bit slow. This week is going to pick up, and then the following weeks are going to pick up too. Today is my only day off, so I'm staying home today. I'm just gonna take it easy a little bit, and
Okay.
I'm here.
Do some writing and all that stuff.
Yeah. Are you hearing Claudio at a very high level because he's coming across very loud to me?
He didn't seem super loud to me, but
Okay. All right.
he did lean into the microphone a
Okay.
Yeah.
little heavy.
There you
So
go.
it also sounded like Claudio had a sore throat, and I was going, "Oh no,
Yeah.
Claudio, don't be."
Don't be
No,
sick.
no.
I
I'm
see.
not
Okay,
sick.
yeah, he is getting close to the.
Very
Yeah,
close. Yeah.
exactly. How about now? Do you hear me now?
Okay. Yes, you have. We hear
Sorry, I
you.
shouldn't have muted you. Let's try that again. Da-da-da.
No. Is that I've been to a concert and a wrestling show, and then last night I did my set, so my voice is used a lot.
There we go. And I think you're a little bit lower on
Yeah.
the vocal stream now.
Terrific.
All right.
Yeah.
Uh, and Mike,
Mm.
how's your week been? You
It's been
started
very.
working on
It's
your deck?
No, it's been very, very quiet. Actually, I've been having some trouble getting people to come and give me an estimate for the deck. So, but the problem I'm having right now is that we're having our windows and this patio door installed, and because of the weather, because there's not been 2 days of decent weather, like consequent days of good weather, it's been put off and put off and put off, and there's a good chance that tomorrow is going to be snow and rain, and then Wednesday is going to be nice, and then Thursday is going to be rain, and then Friday is going to be nice. So I have no bloody idea when they're going to install this thing, and that's sort of like domino effect to other things that are supposed to be happening in early May. So yes, it remains to be seen. Stay tuned.
We're gonna stay tuned. That's for sure. And yeah, I had a nice little pleasant surprise. I did the nest last Tuesday, and
That went well.
it went well. And then Thursday morning, I got said, "Hey, we need an extra person for tonight. Can you come by?" And so I, went and did
Excellent.
a set.
Excellent.
So and had a nice sweet. I was like third on the show, so it was good.
Was that for Heidi's run?
No, Christoph Davidson.
Oh, okay.
So Christoph, who he currently lives in Toronto, but he started comedy here.
Yeah, he did. Yeah,
Yeah,
I remember
and
back in
so
the day.
back in the day, and
Yeah.
it was a good crowd. They they were a little tepid at the beginning of the show, but when I got on stage, they were, I got them. So
Good.
they were nice and fun, and it was nice. And they asked me to be hosting on the newbie show on the 10th of May.
Good.
So nice to get sort of booked out in advance on
Yeah.
that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Nice.
And
I'm
And
on
there
it
and there's
tomorrow.
and they're still doing all the precautions and stuff and
yeah, they're
yeah.
rotating the microphones and
Yeah.
disinfecting them
Right.
and such. I bring my own microphone when I go there,
Yeah, I would too. Yeah.
and you're supposed to keep your mask on while you walk through the audience.
Right.
So it's yeah, that's good.
And do they have a reduced capacity for the audience? Do they some
No,
distancing or
no, it's full.
yeah?
I think there are still a couple tables removed,
Yeah.
and AJ's answering a phone, but he's here. It's
That's not
eight
my
eight.
phone.
No.
Oh,
Yeah, it's not mine either.
No, I think that was mine. I think my wife just picked up upstairs because we're having some, not problems, but we're having some things to do with my mother-in-law's medical things, and I think she just got a call from somebody
Okay.
with regards to
Well,
somebody.
we don't want
No.
to pry on medical stuff. I love the fact though that AJ is joining us from the 1800s. He's a good
Yes.
CPA fellow. It's rather joyful in that capacity.
I'm a Canadian period piece.
Yes. Yes.
You are a Canadian heritage moment.
Yes. Yeah.
when Canadians first discovered the internet.
That's basically what year this computer's from.
Oh, I see. There we go.
It's you're looking good. You're sounding good. It's we're glad to have you here. So oh yeah, and then Vaudeville. You know, we had a good show on Wednesday, and we got another great lineup for this coming Wednesday. So
Nice.
fun stuff. So AJ, how's your past week been? You've been
Good.
ranting online quite a bit.
Yeah, well, I decided to make a schedule of Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and as much as my depression desperately makes me not want to do it, I'm not allowed to listen.
Right.
Right.
So, yeah, a lot of ranting, a lot of raving. I missed going to Vaudeville because I was ranting and raving.
It's and what's it's horse hockey politics.
Yeah, or like HH Politics on Twitch, and
HH
eventually I'll
Politics on
be
Twitch.
editing it into YouTube.
Okay.
I just don't feel like I have enough consistent content yet to edit anything.
Okay. All things in good time, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
It's getting content out there, and getting content out there on a regular basis is what they say is the best thing. And
Right.
Yeah,
And
it's
there's the
why
old-
it's why even after this, like, I'll have to stream today because that's my schedule. But like, mental health makes just doing anything a real struggle.
Yeah.
I definitely know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's the old pottery class story. That's you guys are
tell.
familiar. I've
Do
mentioned
tell.
that.
Hmm.
There was a pottery teacher who gave the students a choice at the beginning of the year. They could either be graded on their final project.
Oh,
just
you did
make
mention
one,
this.
Yeah, you did mention
one
this
project.
Yeah.
Or they could be graded on the weight of all their stuff. So the people who chose to be graded on the weight
Had
ended up
actual
making the better
quality.
looking.
Yes. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm a firm believer in the fact that there's no wasted efforts. There are unsuccessful efforts sometimes, but there are no wasted efforts, because even like in comedy, you go on stage, you bomb, you actually learn from the bombing, you know? So there's always something you can take away from whatever experience you delve into, and if you put your effort forth, something will come of it. Sometimes it's just a very tiny little thing. Something comes of it. I don't believe in wasted effort.
It's not to change the subject, but back to like my 1800s. It's really annoying because like I look into the camera so that I can like make eye contact with the audience and all that.
Right.
But that red tint that you see in this camera,
Right.
it's infuriating because I look at my camera and it's just got a red light around the camera, and I can't understand what that red light is for other than bathing my image in this weird red tint. I've gone through the settings. I can't turn it off. It's literally just when they made this computer, they were like, that's a smart idea.
Let's put a red light there. Yeah.
It's like the on-air button outside of a radio booth, right?
Yeah,
Right.
except for they don't blast that light onto the person who's speaking.
Right.
Yeah. Well, it's not a tone that happens for radio. I mean,
Yeah,
you could.
that's true. Yeah.
Yeah. I also it's kind of neat that it makes the TV behind you look like it's a fireplace.
Yeah, it's kinda nice.
Yeah.
You know, with the bookshelf and the nice presentation of the pictures, it definitely looks like it's
I should get
It's
one of
a
those
Victorian
Yule log
home.
videos. Doesn't
Yeah.
Netflix have one at Christmas?
Yes, fireplace, the Christmas fireplace.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. YouTube has one.
Yeah.
Runs like at least 10 hours.
yeah.
Nice.
There's also the Burning Vader YouTube.
Right.
Uh,
And the
which is-
ever popular aquarium for
Mm.
people who want fish but don't want to keep them alive.
I think those are called pescatarians.
Yes, I think so.
All right, Claudio, you're being awful quiet.
No, no, just some things that are bothering me, but I'm not gonna say it on air. But
I'm
there's
sorry about
some-
my camera, Claudio. God.
You know what, AJ? Take that camera. No. It's just some things that are bothering me, and
Okay.
You
the
don't
more
wanna
the
talk about
yeah, I'm gonna talk about it off air. It's
Okay.
just something that I experienced last night, and the more like I know, like I did a comedy set which was good. Like that I'm not a problem with it. And I don't have a problem with it. It is some other things, like a lot of politics are involved, if you know what I mean.
Oh, no.
Which gets me, infuriates me, and whatever. We'll talk about that
Yeah.
off air.
Okay.
All right.
We'll,
All right.
we'll-
You know what? I have a movie suggestion for everybody.
yes.
Because I don't think enough people are talking about this film, but it's great, and I love the message that came with it.
Mm-hmm.
So, Everything, Everywhere, All at Once.
I've been hearing really good things.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's. I think we need to really raise the word of mouth on this. There's subtitles which might turn some people off, but
Is that a French movie?
no, it's actually it's an American movie, but it
Okay.
focuses on Asian Americans,
Oh, okay.
sort of, because Michelle Yeoh
Yes.
is in it, and I can't remember his name. Short Round from the second Indiana Jones movie. He's all grown up, plays her husband,
Right.
and he is so good because it's got multiple dimensions in it.
Yeah, I've heard some things about what it's about, and I'm very intrigued.
Yeah, but the message is so positive. The humor is so quirky. It is the action is amazing. Jamie Lee Curtis is in it.
Yeah.
And it's like Jamie Lee Curtis is playing against type so heavily.
Nice.
She's just does an amazing job. Took me a few seconds to go, hold on, that's Jamie Lee Curtis. Like I didn't even see her name in the credits before going in to see it. Like I went in kind of blind.
Right.
And it was so hilarious. And then it is a message film.
Okay.
And it had such a good message at the end, and it's like this is the kind of stuff that I think is missing in entertainment. Like it reminded me a lot of The Love Doctor.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I went in kind of blind because the theater is dark, so you did go in a bit blind because it was dark inside.
All right.
Okay.
I asked Claudio to talk a few minutes ago. I can't.
Kind of
Be careful what you wish for. Be careful what you wish for.
It's so weird. I'm just saying I like positive, uplifting comedy, and then I just burn Claudio for no reason really whatsoever.
Well, speaking of movies, I was scrolling through Netflix and I finally saw the Texas Chainsaw Massacre on Netflix.
The original? The very
No,
first
no, no,
one?
The
The remake.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah.
there's like 9 of those movies, and 4
Yeah.
of them are called Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Ed Gein story.
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead. What
That's
did you think of it?
I'm trying to find good words.
Okay. It took
I
your
don't
breath
know.
away then.
Oh, it did. But it was, first of all, I like to understand something. I like to understand like how Netflix people are like, all right, so we need to do a film that everyone's gonna watch. All right, how about a remake? All right, that's good. All right, what are we gonna do? Texas Chainsaw Massacre. There was one that came out last year. No one knew about it, and then the one 2 years ago. All right, let's do this. And then you're watching this, and like, man, it put all the budget on a school bus. That's where all the budget went. And for this one, I'm like, man, must have filmed in someone's backyard. It was
Yeah.
just Yeah,
Bad. It was bad. It was bad. It was bad. Okay.
it was horrendous.
I mean,
Yeah, but it'll probably become a cult classic because everybody will be going there just to laugh at how bad it is.
Oh no,
happens a
no, no!
lot.
This is not. No.
No?
This is not laughable bad. This is.
Oh
just
no,
like-
this is atrocious.
Yes, I'm like I can't believe I'm paying Netflix to have these kind of products in here as part of this.
Oh,
I'm
my.
paying like what $13 a month for this.
God, I
Yeah.
remember when it was like $6.
Yeah, I know. It's like everything.
Well, season 2 of Russian Doll is coming out, so I'm
Oh yeah, Yeah.
looking forward to that one.
I didn't expect that. It seemed like it was a pretty it seemed like it was a pretty good like one-off story, and then like
Yeah.
Hmm.
they brought in a second season. I mean, like
Yeah.
good one-off stories end with like kind of cliffhangers or lead-ins to season 2. But most shows I just take them at face value for their season, and I'm like, all right,
Yeah.
if I don't see any more of that, that's good enough.
Yeah, they well, yeah, of course, there's always sort of like a teaser to possible second season. But yeah, I judge a series by how well it ends in that first run, because if it could end there and they continue it, that's great. But if it could end there and be done with it, it would stand alone, and then it would still be a good, a worthwhile thing to watch.
No,
It's,
it has to have endings like The Matrix Reloaded, where they're about to do something and then you see to be continued.
oh no.
That is, or like the last season of Angel, like they're in the alleyway and you hear the noise of the army coming towards them, and then they're about to take a sword and then just walk into camera, and then that's how it ends. I'm like,
Hey, if you read the comics, there's plenty more to go.
Yeah, right, of
I
course.
know.
There's
I read season
well, the
6.
thing is they could do Moonfall or Buckaroo Banzai,
Mhm.
Yeah.
where they end with oh, there's more coming, and then
Nothing.
like did you anyone see Moonfall?
I was-
haven't
exactly.
seen any.
I was
theaters
in it.
movie.
I mean, okay, no. I was on standby. I just remember going on a film set early morning during the pandemic. I did my COVID test and like, all right, we'll call you when we need you. That's where I was there at 4 a.m. I slept from like 5 till whatever. I woke up, I ate. I'm like, all right, you still need me to go? No. But we're gonna take another COVID test. I took the COVID test. I was still outside. I took another. I basically slept the whole day, and after that they paid me. And that was the time when the curfew happened, and I'm like, wow, I just got paid
Yep.
for sleeping. That is
And 2
that
COVID
is-
tests. Yeah.
And to COVID tests, yeah.
Oh, no, sorry, 3. It was
3.
1
3?
at 5.
Wow.
And then I took a nap.
Yeah.
then the
I
following
only had
week-
the one COVID test my day on set, and I'm not visible
No.
in the scene whatsoever.
Wow. Okay.
But they it pays well. There's talking about I'm actually going to be working next weekend for the same people who made Turbo Kid again.
Nice.
Nice.
So
It'll be
I'm,
called Turbo Man.
no, it's I can't say the title. I can't say the
No,
title.
you can't say the title.
Man Turbo.
No, it's not a sequel. It's not a sequel. It's a whole new film. So
I got it. Text
Imagine it was a
Turbo.
new film, but they were still like, no, but like we're gonna keep Turbo in the name. That's just our
Yeah,
branding.
exactly.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Like Turbo Twats or.
Oh Jesus Christ! I didn't go that far.
You had to do that, hey Claudio. You had to have that one. You
I
just
had-
need
Claudio,
to
that was
throw
the
that one
porn
out there.
That was a porn parody.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The Comedy Nest Turbo Hour.
Yeah. Oh wow.
All right. How do I mute Claudio again?
I know.
I did ask him to talk, didn't I?
Yeah.
There it is.
all
we
your
have
fault.
viewers. So hi, viewers. Just
Hello.
saying hello.
Yes. Don't run away because of Claudio.
Yeah.
If anything, stay because of.
Of the camera.
There is
noisy
yeah. Oh.
Ah.
Oh. Look.
Hello.
Oh my goodness.
She hates me though.
Oh yeah. No. She.
Yeah.
Meow.
Okay, you can get down.
I think I might have mentioned this as well, but I think it's gone from theaters already. But The Outfit
It's gone.
was another surprising film to see, and it was like a bottle episode. Everything took place inside this one tailor shop, and I learned the difference between a cutter and a tailor, and the main
Right.
character is a cutter, not like teenagers.
No, he cuts fabric. Yes.
Yeah,
It's
which he made the distinction that he is, above a tailor.
Right.
So.
it's not. I find it funny that people will be like, "Oh, like humanity hasn't made any progress, or the progress humanity made is garbage." And I'm like, I don't know, man. Teenagers used to be called cutters when I was kids, and I haven't heard of a teenage cutter in almost 20 years. So,
Yeah.
Oh, I have. Unfortunately, I have.
Yeah.
well, I mean,
There's
obviously, it still happens, but I'm saying it's not a widespread thing of like kids fucking harming themselves like it was back when I was in high school.
Yeah,
It's
I
it's
think
less
that's because we're hanging out with
widespread.
less high school kids.
Well, I try to not break any laws.
Yeah, I know. That's why you have the what is it called?
Yeah, but that's the thing is I'm obsessed with them, like the minds of like Gen Z. I love following like under 20-year-old like YouTubers. These kids are brilliant. They do some incredible like pop media stuff.
Mhm.
No.
I think that's mostly because when you're in your teens and early 20s, you're basically fearless. Nothing. I remember being at that age, and nothing we attempted gave us any sort of, we did some. I know personally, I did some rather crazy shit that I
Same.
could have gotten
Same.
harmed. I could have gotten harmed in major ways, and at the moment, at that point in time, there was not even an afterthought of, this might be a little dangerous, or we should maybe be a little scared. We should be wary of some of these things. Nah, we just went out and did them. Like
Yeah.
But the thing is that this generation is coming up being bombarded with doom and gloom.
yes,
And
yeah,
it's not
of
so
course.
much that they're fearless, that's they
Yeah.
see no future.
Yeah,
And-
yeah.
And not even in the punk way of seeing no future.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They're genuinely like global warming makes this planet harder to live on every year.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Mike, speaking of doing some crazy things in your 20s, so in my early 20s, that's when I was in college. Yeah, I got bullied. I still got bullied in college in my early, my 19, when I was 19 years old or 20 years old. So I was fighting this bully, and and the genius that I was, I'm like, oh, let me just do a backflip from a table and land on this guy. So what I did is, so obviously, like I love wrestling, and my favorite wrestlers are the Hardy Boys. So if you don't know who the Hardy Boys are, they are these they're brothers, and they do crazy, like they could jump off like 20 feet and smash onto the table. So I'm like, let me just pull a Jeff Hardy. So I did, so I was like a devil. I pretend to be a devil's boy. So and by the way, the bully never bullied me again. So we got into like a real, like I wanted to end this. So I put him on a table, and I'm like, all right, so let me just put him on double tables. So then after I went on I forgot where I was. I went on a stepping stool. I tried to do a backflip,
Ooh.
but I got him, but at the same time, I smashed my head, and I don't understand with the impact. I don't understand how my head smashed open. I just smashed my head, and I'm like, oh my god, that was really good. And then the bully's on the floor. He goes, oh, I'm like, man, this hurts. And then and then the parents like, what happened? I'm like, well, your son bullied me, so I retaliated, and the principal's like, "What happened?" I retaliated a bully, and then you see like parts of like tables are broken everywhere. I'm like, all right.
Did you end up bloody or something? Did you open up your
Yeah.
head?
I
Gashed your
ended
head?
up bloody. Yeah, so here there's like no one notices, but there's like a mark.
Oh, you have a scar.
Yeah, scar. So
Yeah.
that's and no, that was another fight. So I fought someone, and
Sounds like
and
you were the bully.
no, who was this
Going
bully?
around fighting people.
No,
I know.
So it was this bully, this other bully back in high school. he actually gave me a wedgie, and he kept doing that, and I had enough.
Classic.
Yeah, and then I took the fluorescent light and I smashed it on his knee, but then parts of it went on my on my forehead, and then yeah, and it was pretty
Did you
bloody.
think it was a lightsaber?
No,
Fluorescent
okay.
tubes. Those
Yeah.
things are nasty. Those
Oh.
have mercury. Those have
Oh, yeah.
mercury in them. You could poison
Yeah.
yourself on that shit.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, good old days.
Yeah,
I haven't,
you take
um,
the mercury, from that, and you think that you can do actually a backflip onto a table. Just
Would I
Yeah,
do it
everything-
again?
everything-
remember when the Hardy
is
Boys
explained
used to
now.
just solve mysteries?
Yeah.
Yes, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You mentioning that, Claudio, I haven't thought about this in years, but I was bullied, but like not like the guy who bullied me like always tried like intimidating me, but he never like physically like attacked me or anything, but like he would just like be mean around me and annoying, and it just like really like it's weird because I'm disassociative, so like it didn't bug me. It was just like this will be over soon. This will be over soon. He'll like get bored and walk away. And like the most he ever did is like at like Dorval terminal, he was like, "Let me see your wallet," and I laughed at him and was like, "Okay." And like there's nothing in it. I carried a wallet so that like if someone handed me something, I had a place to put it. But like I've never had money. I've never had anything. So like he looks in my wallet, nothing's there. He's like, "Oh, okay, you can have this back." And I'm like, "Okay." And like that's the worst it ever got. But that was like when I was like 15, 16. And then like years later, and I'm like 19 and I'm in adult ed.
Uh-huh.
And he ends up in the same like adult ed as I do. And like I'm doing my band practice like after schools and like before school and then going to school. And so I see him in the hall once or twice and he like keeps like looking at me and saying like, "Hey," in the halls and being like, "Oh, good to see you, AJ." And I'm like, I literally like I'm not. When I crossed the threshold of 18, I'm disassociative. So when I became an adult, like I was like an adult. I was done with like anything
Teenagers,
someone anyone engaged me in teenage shit, and I was like, "Hey man, I've ascended that level. Like we're done with that."
Like grow up.
Yeah. So I just ignored him super hard, didn't care. And then like one day I was like leaving my class and he was like, "Oh, what's in that bag?" And I'm holding my guitar case. I'm like, he's like a bully, right? Like I've heard stories of him like hitting and assaulting other people. He just didn't do it to me.
Right.
But I'm like on my way out with my bag and he's like, "Oh, what's in your bag?" And like I know he's using that like intimidation voice. And one thing that he doesn't know about me that not a lot of people know about me is that I went to like a camp and they like a special interest program of the camp was they taught me boxing theory and like fundamentals.
And send it, sort of like a self-defense thing.
Yeah, but like
Yeah.
just like for fun, and like I
Right.
never needed it and I never like
Yeah.
used it except for me and my friends. They found out that while I was in camp I learned boxing. I found out while they were my brother and my best friend. They learned Krav Maga together.
Oh God.
So a bunch of my friends like over the summer had like taken different martial arts courses. We had just all hit that point in our life. So like
Right.
we started like a jokey like fight club for like a couple months where like we beat the living shit out of each other. Only one-on-ones. We didn't do anything
Yeah.
and it was only one fight at a time. But like we had a straight up fight club going just to like test
Right.
physical prowess.
Right.
So like this is like who I am now at like 19 years old. I've had the experience fighting like my friends. I know how to like do boxing fundamentals. I know a little Krav Maga fundamentals. I know quite a few martial art fundamentals because the people I would fight at my little sparring club
But
were my friends. So they'd be like, "Oh, this is what I learned."
yeah,
I'll show
here's what
you.
you can do. I'll show you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we
yeah.
just slam each other. I think the only rule was like don't hit the face. So like we do like
Right.
body shots on each other all day.
Mhm.
And so like I'm walking out and this guy's like, "Oh, what's in the bag?" And I literally stop, turn around, I'm like, "Hey man, you want to step outside and just fucking squash this right now? Like I will stomp you out in front of this school and we can never speak again. Like that's that. You want to just do this right here?" And
he
it's
was-
just silence in the hallway just between the two of us. It was during a class, so there's nobody in the hall.
Yeah.
Just me and him, and I'm just staring at him like,
come on. Yeah. Let's go.
let's never speak to each other again. Or step outside. And he was just like,
You know,
and he turned
Wow.
around and paid attention to his shit. I left, never saw him at the school again.
There you go.
you know,
Yeah, nine times out of 10, you call out a bully. That's what
Yeah.
happens.
Yeah.
you know, AJ. If you and I were friends back then, I would have brought some thumbtacks and be like, "You know what, bully? I'll put you into these thumbtacks, and then I'll find a fluorescent light.
Claudio's
Yeah,
martial art
mercury
is,
poisoning.
the fundamentals of professional wrestling.
Yes, there we go.
Exactly.
Hit him with a chair.
Yeah. Funny story about that.
You know what? I actually thought that he thought he was your friend from like the earlier interactions. When you both started like adult ed together. That
Yeah,
he's going,
no.
hey Claudio, hey, or not hey Claudio, hey AJ.
Hey, AJ.
Hey,
Yeah.
AJ.
No, that's the thing is I can't do it. But like he had a bully voice. He has he had an attempted intimidation level. Like I can read people pretty easily. It was very clear that he was trying to like see if he could still get under my skin and see if he
Right.
could like
Yeah.
make me feel nervous or intimidated. But again, like I'm in adult ed. I'm an adult. It was very hard to feel intimidated by someone acting like a child.
Yeah. There you go.
And then since then it's gotten like it's gotten so much more than that. Even one of my good friends a while ago had like we don't talk anymore. He had some major issue. Like we were best friends, talked all the time, and then like he had some kind of midlife crisis or some drug thing, and then like went off on me, called Jenny a racist, and like told me that I was like, I don't know, like plotting secret negative shit behind his back. And the reason we stopped being friends is because like he was telling me this story for like the fourth time. He had this mental break. He almost like got pulled over by the cops, and like he jumped out the window in front of his parents, in front of the police, just like totally lost it. I don't want to be disingenuous, but like I don't know what happened to him. His brain just like
Yeah. Short circuited.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so like we were walking home, and I used to love walking and talking with him. And so like the fourth time we were walking after he had his brain snap, he's telling me the story of his brain snap again with all the exact same words, all the exact same like it's just the same story again. So like I'm interjecting and like making jokes after every sentence because I'm just trying to keep my own entertainment up.
Right.
And he stops and he's like, okay, like if you interrupt me again, like I'm gonna seriously punch you. And I'm like, okay. And then we got to the next street, and he's like, oh, like I'm going this way to head home. Like, want to walk with me a bit? I'm like, no, I'm gonna go home my way. He's like, okay, cool. We split. I message him when I get home. I'm like, hey man, you ever threaten me again? I swear to God, like I'm not, and this is not a threat. I'll never speak to you again. Like you talk to me like that, like I'm some kind of like dog you can just like smack into
Yeah.
a bait. Like no. That's not how I work. If you
Yeah.
ever intimidate me like that again, never
Yeah.
fucking speak to me again. I do not deal with that shit. You want to try and intimidate me? You want to try and talk shit? Go right ahead, but recognize that like hit me. I'll call the police. We'll go through the entire fucking thing the way that we're supposed to. Like I do not accept being bullied or pushed around.
Yeah.
You want to mess with me? Like cool, man. We will go through the chains of command, and I will make sure that you fucking regret every goddamn moment of even trying to step up to me.
Yeah.
And I will never hit you in response.
Right.
You see, AJ. That was a perfect time of when you should have found a chair and just smashed it in the head.
If
Because
there were
Everything comes
at
down
some
to this
point-
chair with him.
Because at some
places
point,
to pull a chair out of, I would do this more often, but there's so
See-
few places.
I
Well,
know,
that's
you know,
why-
he
well, that's
doesn't
why-
carry a chair in his backpack, you know,
No,
like,
we do.
like,
No, we
like
do.
Deadpool's
Yeah.
knives, you know, he pulls
Yeah,
them out,
so-
he's
so-
got chairs in each hand.
so oh my god, can you just imagine like we do a comedy show and there's like a heckler and then one of us on stage, you see AJ just throws us a chair. You're welcome. No, but-
You will be our designated chairperson.
But in all seriousness, AJ, I understand what you've been going through, and possibly going through, because obviously these kind of things do not end. But I had a similar story with one of my friends, and he called me up. He goes, because this guy is in a mental is at the Douglas, and he would call me up. He goes, Claudio, I've always thought, your voice is in my head, and you drive me crazy. And I'm like, and then he goes,
Okay.
and you know what? I think us not being friends is a good idea. I'm like, you not being friends with me is your idea. Me having a voice in your head, that's on you. And then for some reason, you always mention, felt like you always wanted to hurt me and this. I'm like, you wanted me to hurt you. And then he goes, I don't think we should be friends. I'm like, first of all, it's still o'clock in the morning. and you're calling me.
Jesus.
Second of all, I'm like,
How did
I'm,
you get
you
phone
know,
time at the Douglas at 2 in the
I
morning?
know, at 2 a.m. Holy crap.
I don't know. And then I'm
He
like,
was
and then
out
I'm,
at that point, Claudia.
Yeah.
Just to let you know, watch your
Yeah,
back.
yeah.
I'm like, and then I told him like same thing. Like, hey, listen, if you ever want to threaten me, I told him, you know, all we got to do is just face to face, and you know, a chair's gonna go across your head. That's what's gonna happen. No, but in all seriousness,
Chippendale
I
chair
understand
face.
that.
Chair
No, but
face. Yeah, that's,
no, but I understand how that happens, and you know what? Like we cannot control the way people think and the way people feel. So you know, it is what it is with them. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, like with my buddy, I would like to know what happened to him. I'd love to like message his parents and like talk to them, and I honestly like I just haven't done it because like I really don't. I kind of don't want to
No.
know the answer. I don't like.
Yeah, you don't need to. This sounds to me like a situation where even just an innocuous reaching out to find out, you know, is he okay, or what you know, how is he doing, would rope you back into it, and you don't need that. I think.
Yeah,
a lot of
yeah,
those things are
yeah.
sort of
Yeah.
those desires in people
Mhm.
is just to solve their own guilt.
Yes.
Or,
Yes. Yeah,
right?
I also have a friend that we were friends for almost 40 years, and it ended very acrimoniously, and it was just like, and it ended very abruptly, and
Mhm.
I've never heard from him again, and it's going almost on like almost 10 years now that it ended, and so it's like, no, you know, yeah, that's it. I've closed the chapter on that in my life, and whatever, if I
You're
never
better
hear
for
from
it.
him again, yeah, if I never hear from him again, it's not going to be a great loss, and if I ever hear from him again, if I ever find out, I will have next to no interest in, you know,
Yeah.
what transpired.
Yeah,
I'm
because-
definitely still at the point where like if he messages me and is like I'm not saying that I need an apology in any way, but if like he blocked me and like I never blocked him, if he unblocks me and like reaches out, like I'm here. I'm not. I still have some of his stuff. He told me, he's like, oh, keep all the games I lent you. I don't care anymore. And I'm like, all right, man. Well, I'm not gonna sell them, so just whatever. Let me know. So I'm
Yeah.
still at the point where if he appears out of nowhere and wants to talk, I'm here. But I also understand that like after a certain amount of time, it's gonna get to a point where it's like, bro, like it's been like a
You don't-
decade. Like I
you
don't even
don't-
know who you are anymore.
Yeah,
Right.
you don't need that because here's the thing, and I know it's
And
supposed
who
to be
knows if
talking
he
about.
comes back into my life if he's changed to the point where he's coming to con me. Like after a certain amount of time, it becomes like, why are you?
Yeah, why?
reaching
Yeah,
out?
yeah,
Yeah,
I know we're supposed to be talking about happy thoughts, but this is actually, I believe this is an important topic, you know, and I was just gonna say the same thing you were gonna say, you know, like what if your friend suddenly comes back? That's the thing, right? Because obviously, you know, we're all humans. We all tend to piss each other off one way or another. You know, let's
Yeah.
just from that perspective, we're not all like, you know, good and positive. What's the word I'm looking for? We are intentionally going to piss someone off. That's normal, right? But if you have a friend who you have not spoken for decades or years, and then they suddenly come back, it's gonna be like, wait, why are you back? Am I gonna get mugged? Am I gonna
Well-
force the light to my face? What?
I had a friend who married somebody who was obviously not a good person. And I told them that before they got married, and so they cut me out of their life.
right.
And then about 3-4 years later, they message me, and I find out that they're separated at this point.
Right.
You know, I would have felt better if I had just shut up and been there to support them while they went through hell,
Yeah.
Right.
than to have been.
Kicked out.
Missing
for the
from their
whole
life.
thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's not worth it being right to see your friend.
Yeah.
But there comes a point in time, however, when even like very, very deep rooted friendships, you know, it's like people say, oh, the opposite of love is hatred. The opposite of love is not hatred at all. It's because they're both emotions.
Apathy.
It's indifference.
Yeah.
The opposite of love is indifference. It's like you're nothing to me. And when somebody who has been in your life does something so egregious that everything it just dissolves, that person becomes a stranger again, and it's like, you're contacting me, why? You're a stranger to me now. I mean, I don't know you anymore. I don't think I ever knew you to begin with, so.
Which is why I like making friends with comedians, to put it on a happier note. Because comedians, the cool thing is that even if a comedian is a character on stage, which we don't necessarily have a lot of character players in our city, but like even if they are, like part of what makes those characters funny is like the real comedian, the real person you meet off stage, or the people who are true in their comedy. We get to know each other really well through what we find funny and what we talk about on stage, and like the kind of stuff we make jokes about. So I do appreciate having comedian friends ever since. I mean, I've been doing it like now 5 years or so, but like ever since like making comedian friends, you really understand that like comedians can be psychopaths, but like they're a lot of fun to be friends with, because you get an understanding of who they are. You get like without some major trauma in their life changing them, you really get a good understanding of like who you're hanging out with, who you're dealing with, and that can be detrimental and bad. Like you can know you're hanging out with some toxic people, but you can see good people too very easily through the lens of comedy.
I think one of the underlying commonality that I've observed in many comics, because I've been on the scene for a while, and I've crossed paths with a lot of them, is that most comedians they seem to have a sense of being able to cut through bullshit, and they are keen observers of just society in general, and also of they love to just like watch people. They observe. They're acute observationists, So it sort of gives them a cachet of insights, and through that I find that comedians are sort of like they tend to just, even if they're struggling with things on their own, they tend to just sort of like, oh, well, that's interesting, but let's move on to another thing, So I find them absolutely refreshing to be around.
Mm-hmm. I mean, there's bad in every group.
Oh, of course.
But yeah, wanting to stay on the more positive side. Yeah, for the most part, so many of the comedians I've met, even if I don't have a strong relation to some of them, like I really, really like a lot of their comedy that we have in the city. I like who they are as people, and like even if we're not like friends, I'm like glad to know a lot of the people in this city and get to see them be hilarious on Facebook or be funny on their stage shows. Getting like all the people right now that like JFL is like ramping up, so seeing a bunch of our comedians getting their like spots in JFL and getting their fringe shows and getting all their big events, I'm like, yeah, glad to see all these good people doing well. And it's fun because I know when I started in comedy, a lot of people told me about like harboring like feelings and like jealousies, and like I've seen some comedians get really jealous of other people's success, and that's just like, that's never been a vibe I've had. Every time I see someone succeeding, I don't go like, well, why not me? Because first of all, I know that I don't put a lot of effort in, but like I'm happy to see my friends and people that I like and people whose comedy I like seeing them succeed. It's very good.
I completely agree with you on that. Yep.
Oh, I'm bitter as fuck.
You look it too, Paul. Look at that face.
People make me bitter.
Some people can leave a bad taste in your mouth.
Yes.
I'm not gonna. I don't have anyone in mind, but I also wouldn't say that like, oh, every single person I've ever met in comedy is a gold star. Like, no, like we've definitely had like some of our own, and people I've met.
Yeah,
haven't been perfect.
One of the things, I've been on the planet for over 60 years now, and one of the things that I've come to realize through many years of experience is that there's assholes everywhere. Yeah. No matter what stratus of society there is, from the absolute lowest to the absolute highest, there are assholes everywhere, and sometimes you have no choice but to deal with them, and sometimes you sort of like, well, I'm gonna deal with them, but then I'm gonna sort of like gradually avoid them and be done with that, but it's a fact of life. Assholes there are, assholes there have been, assholes there will always be.
Yeah, it's why, as much as I like being like a jaded cynic, when it does come to people, I try to like lean on the more positive side. Like, yeah, like exactly like you said, there's assholes everywhere, which is why I like highlighting the fun, not asshole people that I like spending time with or like seeing succeed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tend to how can I say it? I will happily work, on a deal with a handshake, and I've been screwed a couple times because of that.
Hmm.
But I still will give new people a chance with that, and I recently related a story to someone. I'm not going to drop names here, who had a show that I asked a couple times to be on and was told I wasn't a right fit, and then when a certain headliner, who's somebody I know from years ago, was headlining The Nest, and I went backstage to see them, and they were backstage too. And that person very quickly glommed onto the fact that I was friends with the headliner. They said, "Oh yeah, I should have you on my show," and I turned around and said, "Really? Because I asked you several times, and you told me I wasn't a right fit."
Right.
Yeah.
And they felt very awkward.
Yeah.
Because it was very obvious.
As they
that were
should.
social
As they
climbers.
should. Yeah, as they should, because it's like, come on.
And I've mentioned this to Paul off air, and like, no names, and to be honest, this happened a lot, and it happened a lot more frequently years ago. But having like a lot of people took the fact that I work with the guy who schedules Comic-Con as like a way to be like, oh, I'll give you 5 minutes on my stage if you give me a room of 100 people and 45 minutes of like free time at a 55,000 in person attended comic event. And I'm like standing there like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here?
Yeah.
What's happening? You're asking me for like, you're asking me to be on, first of all, one of the most massive shows that we have in Montreal, which I will also like be humble and say I have no control over.
Right.
I work with one of the guys who schedules it, but I am in no way attached to the schedule. I help make sure his schedule goes off. That's it.
Yeah.
So when people were like, well, what can you do for me at Comic-Con? I'm like, I don't know, man. It's a 55,000 person event. Like, do you think I actually have any power there?
Yeah, this guy thought you had much more clout, and also what a great sort of like uneven deal trade-off he was giving you. You can have 5 minutes and you give me this. It's like, oh, I'll give you $5, but you give me 50,000.
Yeah. Yeah, it was.
I'll go for that. I'm dumb.
And there are some people that I helped put through the system in the sense of like, I told them what website to go to and like a name or two that they could drop to help, but like not my name. It was just like, oh, if you write to this person, that's my boss, and it'll go directly to him if he takes you or he doesn't. So I've helped a person or two to show them the way to do it, but it's no different than anyone else would do it. Like that's it. I just maybe gave them advice on how to be like complimentary to the boss, but I don't know if that helps because my boss doesn't tell me how he schedules it. So like, that's the best I can do.
Yeah. Well, there's always going to be somebody who thinks they can,
get
an angle, and you're their ticket to getting in where they had no clue. Yeah.
And that's the thing, like you said earlier about like not every failure like is a failure. Like people talking to me like that and me not being able to help them and not getting their stage time, that's fine, because I learned an incredible amount about like what people will ask of you if they think you have anything to give. So I am grateful that happened, because like I'm like, okay, so like this is how when we play the game on hardball, this is what it looks like. This is what people expect of each other. So I can hopefully like find people less egregious, but if it comes to this, like this is the kind of level some people want to play on. Okay, I've learned that now.
That's a I was about to say that's a very stagnating level that people will play at because they don't get past that. But then again, there's some unnamed festivals that to book a big headliner, their agency will also send 2 or 3 of their minor players,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And so the headliner, they get them a little bit cheaper, but they're bringing in 2 people that
Right.
don't have the same pull.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a business, all right.
Yeah. It's fun doing comedy and being in comedy and being your own product, and your product is the
Yeah.
way you think, and that gives you an incredible amount of agency, but like it doesn't take long for the business side to kick you, and you're like, oh no matter what you're selling, doing
Yeah.
business kind of sucks, and it's
Yeah.
not a fun game.
Yeah, there's aspects of the whole experience too that
Mhm.
have left a little bit of a sour taste in my mouth, but I persevere because it's like, yeah, this is what goes with the territory.
I'm really confused why Claudio hasn't suggested hitting somebody with a chair. Just-
I've been teeing it up for him for like a minute and a half.
I
I'm
know,
just
I
like-
know.
I'm like, where's the chair? Come on.
Trust
Come
me.
on.
After what I experienced last night,
Yeah,
I wanna
the chair's coming out, right?
the chair is the tip of the iceberg.
I'm really tempted that we end the show right now so I can
Just
hear
so
it.
we can talk about this.
No,
Yeah,
that's fine. No, that's fine. We got like 3 more minutes.
yeah.
You want to come up? You want to be on camera?
Yeah.
Oh, is that Poe?
You know,
This one's Zap.
you
but
know,
she tends
you-
to stare.
Oh,
at
it's
me.
Zap.
you know, from that
Our
angle,
poster boy.
looks like you're not talking to your dog. Looks like you're talking to something else.
Well,
It's a,
if you
it's
knew-
a
if you-
cat.
It is, yeah. It's not a
Yeah.
dog.
and you,
It's our poster child, actually.
Yeah.
and your
Yes.
and your arm is moving slightly up and down.
no,
AJ,
no,
we're
no.
concerned. We're
If
concerned,
I,
AJ.
I'll tell you this right
I-
now. If I wanted to jerk off on camera, I just would.
Oh my God.
Oh,
a
my
check-in
goodness.
session, jerk off.
Yes.
moment.
Well,
Okay, yeah, let's.
Nope, she escaped.
okay, there you go.
Thanks.
I tried to pick her
Claudio.
up and
you
she
had
fled.
to mention that, and that just made everything uncomfortable.
Yes.
God damn it, people.
Oh my! Oh, I just straightened my spine. Oh, that feels good.
Yeah.
Hi.
Feeling better?
That's a different aspect of a chair, right? It's like I
Exactly.
I adjusted my seating position. I feel so much better.
I actually hate having bad posture. Sometimes when I straighten my back out and like try to sit with good posture, I recognize how much better my lungs work, and then I just slip back into bad posture.
It's like,
Hey, I can breathe.
Yeah, my
hold on,
back
I
is
just
like, nah.
yeah. My natural slouch is yeah. AJ, what you're saying is my natural slouch is my own version of autoerotic asphyxiation.
Honestly, if you slouch hard enough, yeah.
Yeah.
If you
Alright.
slouch when hard enough.
Yeah.
Oh, hey. That's sorry. I guess the people who are most skillful at that have removed a rib.
Marilyn Manson.
Oh my
Honestly,
lord.
I miss that might be one thing I miss about like pre-internet high school is just like the way we kids just came up with the wildest crap and just like just absolute religion to us.
Yes.
Yeah.
It became canon, right?
Without
Yeah.
being able to check on Snopes.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Oh, okay.
Claudio is checking his phone to see if he got his facts straight for his story he's
No,
going to tell us afterwards.
No, I'm playing.
What?
Oh my god, is he wordling on?
Yeah,
us?
it's
Wordling?
keeping me sane.
Okay.
Ah.
You know what else?
I
You know what else would
recommend
help for that? Yeah.
I do better at Loodle than I do at Wordle.
Okay.
I do better. I
The
do
sex
better
word
at.
ones.
I
Yeah.
do better. I do better at walking than Wordle.
Yeah. Okay.
Uh,
You know what could
Claudio,
help
I've
with your
seen you
mental.
walk.
Yeah.
So
You know
you're
what
going to be
could
really bad at Wordle.
you know what could help with your mental state, Claudio? Maybe a good chair to the head. You know.
Exactly. Exactly. Lock that person in and just go find their vein and just hit them and then blood just comes back, you know.
Yeah. Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition, right?
No, nobody does. But at this point, why not? Paul looks bored right now.
Paul is just he's retreated.
Receding.
Yeah, he's turtled all of a sudden. Here he comes.
There it is. Actually, I just Just I put up holiday kind of decorations here.
Oh yes, like it's an Easter egg.
I was gonna
No?
say a shiny egg timer.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I got an Easter gift. So
Nice.
Okay, you guys can tell me if this is a really, 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 really bad idea. But I was at my grandfather's yesterday, and I assume he bought it ages ago. But I found a book.
Oh
Damn it.
God. Okay.
I found a book by Bill Cosby, and I'm thinking about putting it in the background of my set.
Oh my lord.
Just putting it like right there, just not addressing it at any point.
Yeah. You know what? If you want to give off like some sort of character vibe, then do
Yeah.
it. But if you want to
Just
piss
this
people off-
creepy background image of like Bill Cosby.
Well, if we're gonna be blatantly honest now, I had because I think I've gotten rid of it since then, but I had a couple of Bill Cosby's early albums, vinyl
Yeah.
recordings,
I mean,
and when
everyone
I
did
found
at
them
one
again, I
point.
was like, ooh, no.
Yeah, everyone did at one point. You
Yeah.
can't blame people. He
I-
was
I-
America's dad.
It's separating the art from the artist.
Yes.
This is the big discussion.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
By the way-
I think we
Yeah.
don't have enough time to really get into it. But
I
Before we leave-
think the one album that I had that sort of like I happened upon that, and then I thought, oh, I think I have more than one of these, was To Russell, My Brother Whom I Slept With, which back in the day was an absolute gem of a comedy album. But you sort of like, okay, yeah, too many things, too many.
now that has a different connotation.
Yes, yes.
But no, AJ, I really thought for some reason your grandfather got Minecraft, and I thought that's where you're gonna go with it. I'm like, oh no, oh
In
no.
all fairness, he was Italian. He is Italian. So like,
Right.
I don't know what side he falls on.
Right.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, oh shit, no.
He was either Mussolini or not.
Yeah.
Or-
He made the
other-
roads straight.
Yes, and
Yeah.
the trains run on time.
A broken clock is right once a day.
Yeah,
Twice a
no,
day,
twice a day. Actually, twice.
Okay, twice a day. All right.
Unless it's
Yeah, no, the
analog.
Claudio-
if it's
Claudio is a
analog,
digital.
unless it's digital. Yeah, digital clocks is like,
24-hour clock. All
Yeah,
right.
24-hour
All right. What do you got coming up the next week, Claudio?
I got the Comedy Nest tomorrow, and then on Friday I got randomly invited to a variety show.
excellent, super.
Boom. Which
Yeah.
variety show?
There's a guy named Robert D'Alesso. He called me yesterday. He goes, "Hey, what are you doing on Friday?" I'm like, "Nothing." He goes, "While I work." He goes, "Oh, I'm doing a variety show in Melrose on Friday." I'm like, "All right." There's no events. I asked him about ticket sales. He goes, "Yeah, we're working on that." I'm like,
Okay.
Well, there you go.
"All right."
Sounds like a regular day in comedy.
Yeah, yeah.
Exactly.
That could be great. That could be a train wreck.
Oh,
right, Mike.
I'm aiming for a
50-50.
train wreck. I'm aiming for
Mike,
that
you're-
train wreck.
Oh, I'm not saying anything about Robert. He gave me a nice interview.
Yeah.
Mike, what do you have coming up?
Again, like I cannot put myself out there into the comedy sphere because of things that things beyond my control. But I'm looking forward to a few other things that I'm trying to control that will just come together. But I'm still writing bits. I've written 3 bits in the last week, and I'm sort of like just getting my mind back in gear. I've sort of, not quite, but sort of emerged from the fog of this whole thing, but I'm still pissed off at it.
And AJ.
Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I'm going to be streaming talking about left-wing politics. I don't necessarily have any specific thing I do on my channel yet, but I mean, like, so far, I mean, we've made fun of Gavin McInnes for an hour straight. We've read the Communist Manifesto. We watched Ukraine war news from left-wing media. So if anyone wants to hang out and learn about progressivism and leftism, we did an episode on free speech, gun ownership in Canada versus the States versus the UK.
Right.
So, just learning about like policies and things that I've heard as propaganda that I'm like actually like going and looking at what the actual, because people have always, Americans in comment sections will always be like, oh, you Canadians, you have no freedom of speech and you're not allowed to own guns. So your country is falling apart, and you're just like,
Yes.
okay, well, your country almost freedom of speeched itself into the ground, but you
Yeah,
know, let's
yeah.
look at let's actually look at the policies, and that's what we did.
Yes, yeah. Don't.
Maxime Bernier, who
Oof.
is the leader of the People's Party of Canada, recently did a tweet about the nightmare future.
Yes, I think I saw
and
that
if
one.
I can read this tweet to you,
Okay.
and I also want to quote my friend Kate McDonald, who is on Twitter as more like space,
Yeah.
and their response is so Maxime Bernier's tweet is it's 2040. Canada welcomes 2 million immigrants every year. Almost everyone lives in densified large cities and uses public transportation because combustion engine cars are banned and electric vehicles cost a fortune. No one owns much, but everyone is happy. So the nightmare future he's fighting against is where
Everybody's happy. Yes, because to them that's like, oh no, we can't have that. We want everybody pissed off equally.
What was the response?
What was the response?
Her response was so the nightmare future you're
Yeah, is everybody's happy?
Everyone's happy.
Yeah,
Oh my God! How horrible! What can we do?
That's what I think you mentioned it last week, Mike. But that's a conservative cell phone.
Yeah.
That's a conservative
Yeah.
saying the loud part, the quiet part loud.
yeah.
Everyone's happy. That's not our goal, and everyone's like, "I'm sorry, can you repeat that last part?"
All right. So I've got what do I get? I've got, of course, Vaudeville is going to be happening each Wednesday with my good friend the Love Doctor hosting, and next Monday, after the show,
yay.
BattleCom is back. So we got Walter Ling, David Pride, Erica Tadeo, and myself moderating, and the other two battlers are Jason Hatrick and Dara Mondu.
Okay, cool. That looks like it's going to be a good show.
Yeah, it's going to be a fantastic show, and it's also we did giveaways the last 2 weeks, so I don't know, or last 2 months, or last month.
I saw
last
that.
month.
I saw your poster for that BattleCom, and I was like surprised to see Dara there, just because I haven't seen her a lot, but every time I see her, I'm like, oh shit, Dara's fucking hilarious. So when I saw her pop up on the poster, I was like, oh, I'm probably gonna watch that episode. I'd love to see how she does.
Boom. Yeah. All right. That is our check-in. Everybody is okay. And just because I forgot to kind of do it while I was asking, it's Claudio Capri Comedy on Instagram. That's all one word. We've got Mike just on Facebook, somebody's uncle.
Yes, very much so.
AJ Young Comic on Instagram. Also HH Politics on Twitch.
Yeah.
And all my links can be found here on a Linktree, so check it out. The number one reviewed show for Wednesday nights in Montreal is the Vaudeville Variety Show. So anyone searches what to do, that's the one. And Isabelle Gaumont is going to be on this Wednesday.
Okay, cool.
Nice.
So yeah, that's all that fun stuff. So try being kind. That's what I'm going to say. Everybody
Definitely
try
be
being
kind, guys.